It was already time to go to Paris for a weekend. I must say though that even though I was pretty nervous, people were never actually rude. And of course, because whatever can go wrong will go wrong, I actually had the misfortune of crashing into someone while riding a bicycle around the city.
I am so sorry.
Whoa.
I was so incredibly nervous, I had no idea, and I was at a loss for words, but the guy I crashed into was honestly so super nice about it, and after checking his bike was okay, we were all on our way. And let me tell you something about Paris. It's the most expensive city I visited while I was in Europe. If you are on a budget, probably don't go there. As much as the entire city is just so magnificent and breathtaking, I honestly wonder how they decide what constitutes a historical building when everything is essentially equally impressive. I will never shut up about the fact that the most expensive, smallest, and least delicious cappuccino that I bought in Europe, I bought in Paris. It was less than a shot glass, and it cost €7. Another thing to note is just how incredibly chaotic the traffic in Paris is. I loved riding a bicycle in every European city I went to. But honestly, Paris was the most chaotic one of them all. And in a way, part of that chaos is what makes the city feel so alive, because it's always buzzing with energy. But the mess of not knowing if this is a bike lane or a driveway or both, with the cars going one way and the bikes going the opposite way while also having pedestrians jaywalking, can definitely be overwhelming. My favorite place in the city definitely has to be Sacré-Cœur, which I am not confident that I am pronouncing correctly, but okay. It might be a little bit difficult to walk there just because it's a very hilly place, but luckily there is a subway station that will leave you right there, so you just have to walk about 5 minutes to the actual place. But the view from Sacré-Cœur is just incredible, and I could definitely see myself going there just to hang out and enjoy the view if I lived in Paris. Paris also definitely makes you feel like you are in a movie, I must say. The city has main character syndrome almost as strongly as Buenos Aires does, or maybe just as much, but in a different kind of way. While everything in Buenos Aires will make you appreciate the beauty and vastness of the world and like magical things happen all around, Paris will make you feel like you are at the center of the world. And like the entire city is plotted to make you feel your feelings very intentionally and deeply. One thing that I was not planning on doing in Paris at all was having to go to the dentist. But if there is something that has been a recurrent theme of this trip, is that what I plan to do and what I actually do are not the same thing. And like, no matter how much you plan and you try to prevent these type of things from happening, you're not going to be able to prevent them. I went to the dentist before leaving Argentina at the end of April. Granted, in hindsight, I probably should have gone to the dentist before the last week that I had in Argentina, so that if I had any inconvenience like this, I would have still been in Argentina to take care of them. But anyways, I went to the dentist before leaving Argentina to get a dental cleaning and to fix a cavity that they told me I had when I got the cleaning. And as soon as I left Argentina in Chile in the last week of April, a tooth started hurting. And then as soon as I got to Madrid at the beginning of May, I went to the dentist. And they told me, yeah, the cavity they fixed, they left your tooth too high, so it's been clashing with your tooth underneath. But you might need a root canal treatment to fix it because of whatever, because the cavity was too deep. And I was like, that's really expensive. I don't have an extra 450 euros to pay for that here in Madrid. So let's try to fix the height of the tooth before I go and get a root canal treatment, right? Then, after that, the tooth started improving. Like it stopped hurting as much as it did, right? Flash forward to the end of June, to the last week of June, and my tooth suddenly starts hurting when I chew. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm not actually chewing anything, if I'm just clashing my teeth together, it starts really hurting. And all of these happens before getting on the plane to Paris. Saturday at 5 in the morning before getting on the plane to Paris. So I arrived to Paris and I take an ibuprofen pill before going on the plane. And then I arrive to Paris and I go about my day, my tourist day, as if nothing was happening. And then at 2 p.m. when I go and have lunch, I cannot chew. Regardless of whatever, I just cannot chew my lunch. I cannot even drink the Coke. I cannot drink like the cold Coke that I had because my tooth was so sensitive. So that essentially ruins my mood for the entire rest of the day until I take a nap. I take a nap and then I feel a little bit better. Also helps that a friend that I was visiting here, I didn't visit that friend specifically, but a friend that I met with while I was here, her boyfriend is a dentist. So I started talking to him about my issue and he reassured me that it might be something a lot simpler than I think. And they also helped me make an appointment with a dentist because I hate myself. I don't know how to speak French and I'm in France and I need to go to the dentist. Fortunately enough, my friend was a student and her university provides their students with a list of doctors who also speak English. So I went to a dentist that also spoke English and was able to understand me. The dentist here told me something completely different from what the dentist in Madrid said. And now I'm conflicted because I don't know, like he says that a tooth that I'd had a root canal treatment on before is the one that's bothering me. That the fill-in that they gave me is bad quality fill-in. And also the root canal treatment is kind of incomplete. So I need to, first of all, complete the root canal treatment, which is concerning given that this root canal treatment was done like years ago. So I need to complete the root canal treatment and then I need to get better quality fill-in or even a crown. And I'm like, okay, what do I do in the meantime? Because I still have a month to go before I go back to Argentina. And he gave me some special toothpaste, an antiseptic toothpaste, so that it won't get infected. Because the thing that's been bothering me about the root canal treatment is that bacteria has been accumulating, apparently. But it's not infected, so I don't need to take any antibiotics. That's what he said, right? So I need to do that. I need to brush my teeth with the special antiseptic toothpaste, and also gave me another toothpaste that has like anesthetic capabilities or qualities or whatever, so that it will help with the fact that I cannot chew because everything hurts. This is so different from what the doctor in Madrid said that I am not confident that I can actually leave this be for an entire month before I go back to Argentina and I can actually go see a doctor that I can afford. Because just the fill-in, if the fill-in is bad quality and that's what's causing the bacteria to accumulate or whatever, and I wanted to have a quick fix right now and I wanted to do that while I wait to go to Argentina. Here in France, it's 1,000 euros to get the fill-in. It might be a little bit cheaper back in Madrid, maybe, but 1,000 euros. That's why I don't think that the doctor was trying to get money out of me, because he didn't even tell me to do the fill-in right now. He said, no, you're better off doing the root canal treatment first and then the fill-in. And when I asked, and can we do the fill-in right now? And he was like, I mean, sure, we could, but it's 1,000 euros. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a little bit out of my budget. And he was like, yeah, that's why. I mean, you're going to be good with the toothpaste. But it's such a different opinion from what the doctor in Madrid said. And it's the first time that anyone has ever told me that the root canal treatment is kind of incomplete. So I'm not confident that I can just leave it for a month until I get back to Argentina. I am using the toothpaste, but I'm not confident that I can just leave the tooth be for a month in case it gets worse. So I'm traveling back to Madrid today. I have to pack and I'm traveling back to Madrid today. And I already have an appointment for another dentist in Madrid tomorrow, a different dentist in Madrid tomorrow, so that I can get a third opinion to see if I can actually wait a month until I get back to Argentina to fix whatever the is wrong. And I am hoping that whoever I see tomorrow is actually going to confirm the diagnosis of either of the two doctors that I've already seen. Because if I get a third different opinion, I'm probably going to die out of stress. So yeah, that's been what's going on. And of course it had to happen while I was traveling through Europe for the first time. So I guess it's time to do the Airbnb apartment tour that I didn't do when I first got here. Sue me. I've already said that I forget how to record, or that I have to record things for vlogs. But okay, so this is the living room. You have a little table, and then you have individual chairs, the couch, another chair, tables, and I don't know, some furniture that doesn't make a lot of sense in my opinion. But this is the living room and it's right there, right when you come into the apartment. And that huge ass curtain that you see there is a curtain that is blocking the floor to ceiling walls, like windows that are facing the street. Because this apartment is not ground level. This apartment is out in the street. I'm pretty sure that the space didn't used to be an apartment. I'm pretty sure that it was one of those like brick and mortar shops that were underneath an apartment building. And they were just like, oh, Airbnb is popular. We can rent things to people. It's more profitable than having an actual business in the space that was meant to be a business. So let's refurbish it and furnish it and put some curtains to lock out the window and make it an apartment. I must say that I do feel a little bit exposed with that because the door also doesn't lock properly. Like if you don't lock it with the key, it's going to open. So you need to be really careful when you do that. Like when you go out, when you come in, you need to be really careful and really make sure that you're closing it with the lock and key properly. I didn't use this space very much because it was so out on the street, I felt very exposed. I felt like even this thing that I'm saying right now, like people are gonna hear it. And call it my Latin America paranoia, but I just don't want to be that close to people out on the street. Okay, moving over a little bit, we have the bathroom. Hi. There was no mop for me to dry anything, to clean anything. It was the most comfortable bed that I've had in an Airbnb. I spent all of my time in the bedroom. I am tired. Check-in is at 4 p.m., but check-out is at 10 a.m. 3 hours at the airport. I realized I need to be a little bit more skeptical of people because I'm traveling alone. And I paid an extra $100 to get that done. Dental care is a lot cheaper in Spain than it is in France. I've been in Europe for 2 weeks and my tooth has been hurting for the entirety of this trip.